Hey, I just love that intro music. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. Not depending on who you are, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin. I've got a clear background today. I figured I'd do something with, my background, and you see, I am all about coffee. You see that little coffee on my you know, on the wall back there. If I move it a little bit more, you'll see yet another coffee cup. Yes. Yes. You can see that. So, yeah, hi. It is April 28th. April 28th. Wow. Wow. We're at the end of the fourth month of the year of 2026. Of 20. It's not flying by. This week has been a great week. A lot of good things happening. A lot of manifesting happening, right? Get clients calling me out of and referrals coming out of the woodwork. So it's really, really good. And yeah, I love it. I'm getting a lot accomplished, and I'm hoping that is for you. So if you've got cup of a hot cup of coffee, hot cup of tea, maybe you've got a water, maybe you've got a smoothie or a juice or whatever it is. Here is to you. Mm. I got my M&M cup today. My M&M cup says, "I'm afraid of what might happen if I relax." It's all about coffee. It's all about, okay, I don't want to relax. No, no. Mm, mm, mm. So what happened on April 28th of this day in 1789? Yes, it's a few years ago. Back in 1789. Mutiny on the Bounty, mutiny on the HMS Bounty. There's been movies about it and books about it. And it's when the first mate, Fletcher Christian, decides to have a mutiny and sends his captain, Captain Bligh, and 18 other of the sailors off in a small boat and takes over the big boat, takes over the pirate ship. So, yeah, mutiny on the Bounty this day. It's also, if I remember right, it's the birthday of, I've got to get this name right, Ferruccio Lamborghini in 1916. I don't think when he was growing up they called him Lambo like they do his cars 100 years later, but there is the birth of a man who changed sports driving. A man who, with several other Italians and a few Germans, changed what it is to have a sports car, right? Well, between Lamborghini and Ferrari and Porsche and a few others. So yeah, yeah. I when I see a Lamborghini or Lambo that's out and I'm driving by them or I'm walking by them because down here in Florida there seems to be a lot of them. So I get to see them often, and that's great. I just love that ability to do that. So, what are we talking about today? Today we're in chapter six of my book, Living Your Dream Life, simply by changing your perceptions. We're in chapter six. I can't find chapter six, but that's all right. I don't have to find chapter. There it is. Chapter six. Don't know if you can read it, but that's all right. I will tell you about it. It's okay to talk to yourself. It's okay to talk to yourself, period. And it is. I talk to myself all the time. Not really a lot of time. Yeah, I talk to no, you don't. I'm doing it now. Yes, it truly is okay to talk to yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. People think it's weird if they catch you doing it. I don't, what I do is think out loud. And my thoughts sometimes are going back and forth, weighing issues. So it's like two people talking. And so I think out loud And it feels good. It feels good to do that. When I wrote this chapter, there's something that Zig Ziglar had said several times. I've seen Zig couple times and listened to all of his audios, and he talks about talking to yourself, and he says it's okay to talk to yourself. It's even okay to argue with yourself, as long as you don't find yourself saying "huh" at something you just said. I love it. I love it. Um, but we're talking about talking to yourself, not really talking about this general conversation we have, but we all do find ourselves saying things to ourselves, don't we? You ever find yourself saying like, "Oh, stupid idiot," you're talking to yourself, right? And that kind of self-talk is not really good. Not really good. Self-talk is much more than muttering and those kind of things, but where you might say quietly and you don't really want the rest of the people to have, that's really not self-talk. That is muttering. That's saying things quietly, so but still getting the argument out, right? But the weight of the words, when you say something like that stupid idiot to yourself, everything that we say to ourselves, our mind takes personally, right? So if you're muttering things like that to yourself, very negative, kicking yourself, and you're saying it, your subconscious mind is picking it up. And the more you do it, the more it believes it. The more you do it, the more it takes it in down deep. You know, it's just like when I teach parents and to watch out what they say to their children. But a lot of us are growing up and we hear things like, "Oh, you're stupid, you're a bad kid, you're this, you're that." If it's told so many times, it sinks in deep, and all of a sudden, it's part of us. When you're saying things like that to yourself, it sinks in deep, and all of a sudden, it's part of you, and all of a sudden, you begin to believe it. So, if we know that happens, why not use it to say positive things to ourselves? And that's what we're going to be talking about is affirmations today. Affirmation is a positive judgment declared as true. A positive judgment declared as true. All right. It comes from the Latin affirmare, and which means to strengthen. And that's what affirmations do is they strengthen us. And the cool thing is they strengthen us in the way we want it because if we purposely create affirmations, we actually get to program. And though the chapter was called "It's Okay to Talk to Yourself," and I named it that way because it makes people curious. What do you mean it's okay to talk to yourself? But this session here is called "Programming Your Success: The Power of Purposeful Self-Talk," and that's what my affirmations are. First off, I say if you do them right, you do them in the most optimal way, they're going to work. First off, saying them right is you don't say things like "I want," "I will," "I'm gonna." It's "I am." You say things in the present like it's whatever change you're looking for is already there. Whatever behavior you're looking for, you're already doing it. That's the power. So you're programming your subconscious mind. You say it enough, your subconscious mind believes it. Remember that? But you're not going to say, "I'm a stupid idiot." You're going to say, "I am a kind person." If that's what you're kind of trying to change, if that's what you need to change. "I respond rationally in tense moments," if that's what you need to change. So it's in the present. That's how you shape it. Okay. When you get to writing your affirmations on a regular basis, you try to take a balance. Choose all areas of your life. Is there something in your professional, in your career, in your job you need to change? Your attitude, your behavior, okay? Is there something mentally or intellectually you need to change? I do talk to myself with a good purpose. Um, how about spiritual? How about family-wise? I actually used affirmations for a while, make sure that, I was paying more attention to my wife. After the kids grew up and it was just us again, we're kind of dating, you know, uh, just to be there more for her, creating affirmations for that. And as well as, physical, you know, I pay attention to my health on a daily basis. I walk 3 miles a day or 3 miles a week, whatever it is. What you're doing is you are going to program yourself to do the things that you're talking about. And the last thing is social. So maybe there's relationships, right? And if it's in social, you can actually add some things there. So that way, when you're thinking of your affirmations, think of all those areas. Where do you need to change? But when you're first doing it, just work on one or two to get going, to see how they're going to work, to see how how to best write them. Okay, and you can start an affirmation with "I'm very thankful for this." Start your practice of gratitude statements for each domain. I am thankful for my health. I walk 3 miles a day, whatever it is. And so the way to really get them to work, once you have them in the positive, is to state them out loud. So if you got people around you all the time, you might want to warn them, "Hey, I've got these affirmations. I'm going to be saying these," because they're going to hear you and going to say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what's going on?" So read them out loud and when with conviction, meaning you don't read them rote. You don't read, "I walk 3 miles a day. I walk 3 miles a day." No, it's, "I walk 3 miles a day. I walk 3 miles a day." You read them with conviction. Turbocharge it with imagery. See yourself walking past those places that you're going to be walking on a regular basis. See yourself out there striding, whether it's rain, whether it's cold, whether it's hot. You know, you turbo boost it with imagery. That works for your subconscious mind. It likes to hear the words, it likes to feel the emotions, and it likes to see the visuals. And it doesn't just take 1 or 2 days to do this. You say them in the morning, maybe. Say them several times for a couple minutes in the morning. You do it the next morning. You do it the next morning. It's said that it takes 21 days to create a habit, right? And so it takes at least a couple of weeks, maybe 4 weeks, to actually change a behavior through affirmations. And you keep visible prompts to remind you. Take write them on a piece of paper, tape it up on your mirror when you get into the bathroom in the morning or in front of your office or by your side table, wherever it is. You can do that to remind you. These are prompts for you so you can say them. You can fold them up and put them in your wallet as long as you're taking your wallet out a couple of times a day and you're looking at them. That works too. All right. It's going to result in some automatic guidance. When I first did them and I first got them to work for me, I had been out for 2 weeks and I had been walking during lunch and stating an affirmation over and over again during my walk. And I realized after about 2 weeks, I was in the situation where the behavior that I'm wanting to change was in. And all of a sudden, I'm in that situation. And instead of the old just act the way I used to act, I saw a post-it note in my head, and it had the new behavior, the affirmation for the new behavior. And it gave me the choice now. I didn't just react the way I had been doing. I now could act. And I did act. And the more I acted, the more it became my new behavior. but the affirmation helped give me that choice, which was really cool. Now, I can't say it's going to be post-it notes for you. However, it's going to come in. You'll feel it, you know it, unless it's really subtle and all of a sudden someone reminds you, hey, you used to act this way. You're doing really good now. You, as you evolve your practice, you might evolve your statements, make them sharper, make them mean more to you, make them easier. Maybe you're doing them in different times in different places. Who knows? But evolve your practice. Let's see what we have today for quotes. And this first quote was at the beginning of the chapter. His first quote is the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. It's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin. And once that, sorry, my poster on the side doesn't give me the whole thing because it's a long one. Once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. Period. Muhammad Ali said that. So Muhammad Ali was using affirmations. So he said, okay, the repetition of the affirmations leads to the belief. And once a belief comes in, things happen. Once a belief comes in, you start to act in the way of that belief and even react if that's the behavior you're changing. It's really cool and it does work that way. Okay. Relentless, repetitive, tongue, tongue twisted today. Relentless, repetitive self talk is what changes our self image. And we were talking about change of behavior, but it will change our self image. If you're saying, I am, I do, I feel, or however your affirmation is stated, it's going to change you inside. And it's eventually going to change your self image. Because if you're saying, I am this, and you aren't presently that, by the way, that's what's going to happen. People look at affirmations and say, that's crap. You're telling lies to yourself. You're not telling lies to yourself. You're working on programming yourself. Of course, you're not going to state the way you are already. There's no change there. You're going to state the way you want to be, but you're not going to say, I want to be this. You're going to say, I am this, because that is how you fool the subconscious mind. I put it back here because a lot of the subconscious is in the lower back part of our brain. The parts of the brain there has got a lot of our fight or flight and a few other things there. Okay. Affirm it, visualize it, believe it, and it will actually actualize itself. Affirm it, visualize it, believe it, and it will actualize itself. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the author of Positive Thinking. And so I'm going to say this. I mean, we talk about actualize itself. Affirmations can lead to manifesting. And in a way, it does. It manifests your behavior, your thoughts, your attitude, your feelings. It manifests them in the way you want. Lastly, by continually, now I'll wait for it to come up. Look who quoted this. Look who said this. Myself. By continually affirming your capabilities, your chances of success, your chances of succeeding are much higher compared with constantly doubting yourself. So continually affirming your capabilities, the capabilities that you know you can have. You're saying, I am, I do, I feel. By continually affirming that, your chances of succeeding are much higher than what you might have done before, which is doubting yourself, which is saying, hey, I'm a stupid idiot. I can't do this. I can't handle this. Those are the doubts. Those are the things that will not allow you to succeed. If you want to succeed, this can do this. Hey, I'm going to put the link to my free course on affirmations in the comments of this. So when you're looking at this later, look to the comments. And by the way, if you like this, if you've done affirmations and they worked, or you want to do affirmations and you love this explanation, you can do a couple things. First of all, you can comment, you can like this, and you can share this. But you can also look up my book, Living Your Dream Life. This was chapter 6. This is on Amazon. Kevin Martin, Living Your Dream Life Simply by Changing Your Perceptions. All right. This has been another fun Tuesday morning. It's 9:25. We went 25 minutes. Go a little longer, but we're getting through the book. And once we're through the book, we'll go back to the older format, a little shorter. That's okay. You take care, everyone, and have yourself a sensational week. And it's not because I'm wishing it for you, it's because it's in your control. You can do this. All right, all. Take care. Bye. Damn it. All right. Damn it. I don't know if I have time to even. I do have time to do this. Good, 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 good.